Really? Nice pictures, by the way, Watchwoman. Austria and Italy. All right. Howdy, folks. Welcome back. I told you I would be back. I missed a day, though. Let's just see. I gotta take a break every once in a while. So, there's your thumbnail right there. And most of you with eyes that see can see what's going on here. And let me get this loaded up here really quick. Get this playing. Oops, in the right direction. All right, there we go. And while that's loading up, and take a moment to thank all of you, even in replay, for taking a moment of your precious time to be here with this precious family. Okay. Sorry I missed tonight, but things are changing. I might have to take a break from doing 7 nights a week because, well, it's a lot. All right, let's get her started, though. Get this music out of there. All right, so there's your loop playing right in here, and this is Friday, September 13th, 2024. All right, and boy, all kinds of activity going on there, and yesterday too. But let's just get to this. Okay, let me catch this opening frame here. Okay, that's good enough. As you can see, we got the tail end of an event right here. Some of the outside satellites of the bigger objects approach first, so we see some of them first. Then here comes our bigger object. You can see our spread. You can see over on this side, little moon wrapped in plasma while the rest is draping around a bigger object here. Right here on this side, you can see our shape taking form right here. Okay, let me even kind of scoot over to this side here so we get all of that. Okay, here at this frame, I want to point out how plasma is coming out, changing direction, and then going over the top of this sphere. You can see it here, hit, change direction, and go over. There's a round spherical object right here, plasma coming out, hitting it, and changing direction. All right, it's bending light. See that? Let me do this a little bit more. Right here, you can really see it hit something and then arch and go over it. All right. Indication that there's an object there, a big object with moons, satellites that go orbit around it. Okay. Here's probably our object right about in there, going off the page a little bit. Sorry, I'm not the best artist right now, but clearly you can see we had this big blast was from another pass by big object right there. You can see even little moons trailing along with their little bow shocks. And then another decent sized object right here. Let me get this one. Right. Whoops. I think it's that frame. No. There's one back right here, I believe. Yeah. Right about here. You can make out there's another one back in here. All right. You can see the spread, the flow going around it. It's a little faint, but it's there. Let me, come on. Pull this down, please. Back up just a few frames. So you can see it, the spread going around it right there. Okay, so, even this little moon right here with a bow shock trailing along. Okay. Other little moons, satellites trailing along. All kinds of them shooting out left and right. All right, let me go ahead and put that back into motion. Center that a little bit better for you guys. All right, so there we go. There's your activity for today. All right, so let's move on here. Let's get on over to the solar ham now. And take a little peek here. All right, our solar flux index is down now, 1 to 186. It's down 15 points. Sunspot number is in the green now. Finally, we're down 33 spots. Areas in the green too. That's good. Let's zoom in really quick here for you guys. All right, so we have 38, 16, 20, and 23, 13, 15, 19. This whole group right here is exiting the limb now. Meanwhile, we got 38, 14. This is one that's been spitting and sputtering right here for a minute. Also 38, 24. Okay, so there's a couple out there with some configurations, but not too much altogether. Let me go ahead and slide and scroll down. You can see how flux we are. Ghost X-ray flux, that is. All right, so as you can see, as of last night, well, we missed last night's report. We had a little X flare, okay? And then right as I was about to go live, well, this happened. So a long duration M flare right there. Very, very intense, long duration period of energy. We had our little data drop out just as it was coming out of the event anyway. Then it drops way down, pops back up, way down again, pops back up. We could take a peek at this really quick. Not in the mood to tease you guys tonight. Sorry, here, let's just open it up and do it. Probably just a few frames. Oh, it's not even enough. All right, so there's nothing really to show you there, so we can go ahead and zoom on out. But this was a long duration event, all right, very intense, while getting hit with a G4 storm at the same time. It is excruciatingly painful. All right, so let's go into the 3-day geomagnetic forecast. They're calling for tomorrow G2 storming. All right, we had what, G4 almost today, or yeah, today and yesterday. So there's your forecast. G2 for the 14th, nothing for the 15th, but then again, G1 on the 16th. Okay, so we have stuff still coming. All these flares that went off today, M2.9, 5.4, 2.3, 2, an M6.8, the X flare, 1.3 yesterday. Okay, so we've had a bunch of activity off of these solar flares or off of these sunspots because of our bigger objects and all the little moons and satellites that trail with them. Okay, now here's your long duration geomagnetic storm, too. All right, at the same time, you're having this. Not healthy at all. All right, we took on a bunch of energy right here. Here's another quick little spike right there. We had a G2 right here, just really quick. Okay, so quite the last 24 hours. Okay. Meanwhile, sunspots, we got a 3825 beta gamma delta, and I did not see that one on there. Where's 3825? Oh, over here, round on the limb. Okay. So there's that. X flare potential 15%. That might change. We'll see. But back to this beta gamma delta, neither growing nor declining, just I guess neutral right now. So I'll take that. Other ones to watch 3824 still beta gamma, and then this 3814 is beta gamma delta, but it's declining. All right, here we go. Much of the solar flare activity for the past several hours has been detected off the southwest limb. A coronal mass ejection was observed leaving the west limb beginning around 2, and so far appears to be headed away from Earth. This was followed up by multiple M flares, including an M5.4 departing AR 3811. Okay, and then September 13th, an M2.9 near AR 3823. These regions will continue to rotate further out of view as we head into the weekend. All right, let me take a little sip here. The new active region turning into view off the southeast limb, the source of the X1.3 flare on Thursday, has been producing minor C flares and occasional low-level M flares. It should be assigned AR 3825. So this is our new region, 3825 today, and will remain a threat for at least moderate M flares. Let's go open the tracker. Let's see what they're still tracking. Okay, they're showing this latest CME going away from the Earth. Go ahead and pop that open. All right, so latest CME heading away. That's good. But we still got, well, here was the impact right here. Got another impact coming here on the 13th, which was today. So there's that, and then a little burp here at the end. So this whole chunk right here that you see, here, let me just pop it open a little bit bigger for you. Please, Lord, can we have it just a tad bit bigger? Alrighty. All I was trying to do is point out how this spike right here, this whole chunk, and this little bump at the end on between the 13th and the 14th, we're just about to turn the 14th right now. Those actually match the KP pretty well, doesn't it? See what I'm saying? So there's your impacts matching the KP. Pretty cool. All right, let's get on over here. Beautiful auroras for everybody. Not so good for the planet. Chance of geomagnetic storms today. A minor G1 to moderate G2 geomagnetic storms are possible for September 14th, when an overdue halo CME is expected to reach Earth. Our planet's magnetic field is still vibrating from the strong G3 storm of September 12th. So the approaching CME could be surprisingly effective despite its tardy arrival. What is this? Oh. Here. All right. Well, back to this. Anyways, we're expecting another one on the 14th, the overdue halo, all right? And our planet is still vibrating from the strong G3 storm. Yeah, I'm still vibrating too. Oh my God, I feel like I got hit with a cement truck. All right, 24-hour geomagnetic storm hit Earth's magnetic field on September 12th. The impact sparked a 24-hour geomagnetic storm. At the apex of the event, this was photographed. Right on. Nice picture. Looks like a cross, kind of. All right, you can come on over here to this and finish the article if you guys want. There's a little, that's not even a good forecast model. All right, Schumann's been, well, kind of out of the, hasn't been refreshed in a long time, so till it comes back around, we'll just kind of leave it out of the report for a moment, but I'm sure it's spiking pretty well. We've had all kinds of volcanic blasts, earthquakes, storms, and stuff going on, but I want to show you another spin up coming up here, another one back out here. Yeah, you see something growing there. Meanwhile, over here, we still got this vortex that throws, stuff up against the Himalayas there. All right. What are some of the other ones we need to look at over here a little bit? That one's kind of further north. Should be kind of down at this latitude a little bit, but we'll watch that one. All right, what I want to do is our sandstorm report. All right, so, take off the wind for a minute. All right, you can see our plume reached out, did a little kink, it got a little weak. It ribboned out and did this little, roller coaster ride effect. But there's still some sand out there that's good. It'll help disrupt some of these storms and stuff. Well, I'll take whatever we can get out here disrupting hurricanes, all right? It's supposed to be a big hurricane season this year and would have been. It would have just demolished this country. We would no longer have a country by now. And if it wasn't for these sandstorms cutting down on the hurricane production, we really dodged, a lot of damage this summer. But as it kind of dissipates and does this little hiccup maneuvers, we get these chances of storms popping in there. All right, so we look across here. You can see just covering all of North Africa, all of Saudi Arabia. You can see this very intense plume right here, all up through the Caspian Sea, all across India. All right. And then just all over the place. Even going up into Russia and Sweden and Norway and all the way up to the Arctic Circle. Pretty crazy, huh? All right, so there's that. Let's move on to our SO2. Okay, come on over here to the country divided. All right, there you go. One side bleeding out. We got little pockets here where flooding's kind of plugged up the holes in the ground, but once that dries up, you'll see more. So very, very intense dark plumes over on this side. Meanwhile, all perforations in the crust over here, leaking gas. So there's your country divided. And let's sneak in the fire report too. All right. So we had the fires mixing in with the SO2 emission sites up there. Meanwhile, it's been creeping down here into this region. And are we on current right now? So we had this big breakout of fires and stuff up here in Oregon and Washington. Those plumes have kind of receded. Now we're starting to see more activity here in Central California, Southern California. Right now there's a state of emergency in LA because these fires are starting to surround the area. If you live in between these two, there's the coastline, there's water, and nowhere else to go. So you're stuck in between two fires. So they're trying to evacuate people there. All because these SO2 plumes, I'm telling you, every time we get a round of pressure from the sun, we're going to see earthquakes, volcanoes, SO2 emissions causing fires. You You got a little activity going on here further east. Still some kind of going on around Salt Lake City, kind of spreading around this way a little bit. Up here, you see these ones kind of creeping down. All right, so there's that. Let's get fires out of there and continue on. SO2 emissions all over America, mainly, perforations in the crust, and then this side, down into Mexico. All right, before there were 4 little dots around one time, 7 years ago when all this started, there were 4 little dots popped up, and everybody freaked out and paid attention to it. Now, there's millions of dots all over the place, and no one even bats an eye. All right, you see this activity coming out of the islands right through here, down through here, come up to our fulcrum point. You can see it's pretty dark, organized. So is the second and the top dot. All 5 of them are there. So, and this area is starting to kind of not fill in, but looking a little not so yellow anymore. It's turning pinker. Might just be from the gas blowing over it. Meanwhile, down here you can see our high concentrations. And it relieves pressure, keeping magnitudes down on this plate boundary system. We'll peek at Hawaii, make sure it's doing its thing. All right. Come around here to this part of the world, adjust for their daytime. All right, here we go. As you can see, pretty strong emissions out of this region has crept up all through this area, even kind of doubling back now up and through this area. I don't know what's running in the background, but you can also see that Japan here, volcanic systems, right here. And then also we want to check out Taiwan here. What is running in the background? It's got this thing spinning. Wonderful. All right. Anyways, Taiwan here, SO2 emissions still pretty strong coming out of there. We need to see a lot of quake activity relieving pressure there. It's just going to continue to build. Also down here, Java, yeah, pretty good, strong emissions out of there today. So relieving a lot of pressure. Sumatra filling in. Okay, all these regions. Look at India darkening in now. Boy, these guys are just making some of the dumbest decisions I think I ever seen. And they haven't figured it out yet. And they just keep going backwards. And you can see, well, it's just spreading throughout this region as well. All right, let's get on with the other ones. What are the lines in the ocean? These are flight paths for airplanes, and they pick up this gas and string it out, almost like your chemtrails from airplanes. But they're flight paths. Good question. What else was I looking for here? Oh, getting back to the report. So let's get to this. Sorry, I'm just trying to get this through here. I gotta get some more resting. I got a lot to do and a very short time to do it. We got a long way to go and a short time to get there. All right, so here we go. Lots of heat, a lot of pressure still going on. Central spot right there. This ribbon effect kind of coming out now. Also over here, this area has kind of diminished in color. It used to be bright yellow, and now it's kind of diminishing, which is a reduction in temperature as a result of a reduction in pressure or emissions coming off of the ocean floor. Capiche? You understand how that works? Good. So, reduction, that's good. It's also an indication that pressure is being relieved. Remember, we saw it being relieved inland through the SO2. We had the Juan de Fuca, all this blue water was fighting back. Now we got this red fighting back in here. So looks like we've had a little slippage of some of this pressure coming into this region now, relieving here, but kind of filling in that little gap again. Also, down here, this was all yellow the other day. Okay, now it's less intense, probably because of the SO2 emissions right next to it causing the fires. So the SO2 emissions are relieving pressure. Same with up here, but then more stuff seeps in, replacing it, seems like. All right, from what the other day was just a little round ball of cold water is turned into this comma shape now. Okay, so we got a comma-shaped heat band and a comma-shaped cold band with Tamumasi and all its little vents and stuff venting right here. Something else that we got to talk about too. Mike kind of reminded me of it. There's layers of water in the strata. Okay, we're seeing not just like magma coming up through the ocean floor, but hot water, jets of superheated water from a strata down below. Also, I believe there could be cold jets coming out from strata that, upper here where all there's cold water, there's an ocean under, 1,000 feet down under the crust. It could be cold up here, yet warmer down here. So I don't know. We'll see what's going on, but it's just a good reminder that we got not necessarily magma, but superheated water that could be coming out of the ocean floor as well, creating these heat plumes. Whatever it is, it's a volcanic emission of some kind. Water, magma, steam, whatever. Heat coming from the center out. Okay. Now, as we come over to here, we were talking the other night how yellow had inundated this area and we saw a quake, and that the next day we'd probably see a reduction. Well, look, reduction. All the yellow that was creeping in here has kind of retreated. Java, this cold water band is getting pretty narrow. Tells me heat's building. Ooh, look, you see yellow on the backside in this little bay right here. So there's pressure building around this area. If I can get it just right, you can see there's some yellow kind of growing in this bay. So watch out. We'll probably see some strong emissions coming out of these two volcanoes. Watch out for Krakatau. Meanwhile, look at this spot right off of Sumatra just grew. A new little opening. We also have this spot off the tip of Africa, on the Horn of Africa. Let's go ahead and put the winds in. Bingo. All right. Here's your thermal heat patterns creating our wind structures or conveyor belt. Oh, whoa. What happened there? Come back here. Creating our conveyor belt type structures. And they've been changing a lot lately. They've been shifting and moving around. Once one thing opens up, then the pattern changes a little bit. Okay, now we got this flow where it's coming out of the Gulf, coming right up to the coast and running down the coastline, but not really going inland very much. The only inland is sneaking around up here, coming up through the Gulf of Baja here, and coming up through that way. All right, but hot air rising, cold air rushing in to replace it. Hot air rising, cold air rushing in to replace it. So this little spot is feeding this vortex here, and then this whole other part of the vortex here. Man, there's your conveyor belt structure being interrupted. You can see these cold plumes coming up over in this region here, creating this new little bump and shoving stuff up in that region, aiming it more towards Japan and Korea and China, right in that area. So They better hold on tight. And so should this region too. I think if you guys saw the sandstorm report there, it's still sitting there and it hasn't gone anywhere. All right, let's get on over to our earthquake report. Notice how they're blanking out part of the map here. Wonderful. All right, come on over to our deep quake region. There was no deep quake for the day, but just now in red right here is a 4.1 down at 616, but that's brand new. All right, that just happened. So we're experiencing another round of pressure coming up from down below. Here's the first indicator right here, 616, 4.1. There's a new wave of energy coming up. Meanwhile, before this happened, during the course of the day, today we had a 5 here on the plate boundary, another 5 on the boundary here, relieving energy again. We had several 5s along this plate boundary recently, so the little island relieves pressure, but here at Vanuatu, we've had a little weak spot. And here we continue to see 5 magnitude, 5.1 here down at 12. All right, volcanoes all along this structure right there as we come in to right here. A 4.7 down at 77. Okay, so that's not down, it's not right at the surface. So that's a volcanic island, activity on a volcanic island. Meanwhile, we saw the cold water inundation kind of getting less in this area. We saw heat building up in the backside of this bay right here. So pressure building underneath Java. It's doing all the SO2 emissions it can, but it's not enough. And we're having quake activity as well with a 4.6 at 115. That's on the flank of one of these volcanic islands. In this little trench down here, we have 4.7, and there's another one. 4.7 and a 4.6. Okay, so almost a couple of 5s in this little bubble type structure right here in this trench. Little weak zone right there. So activity, earthquake activity at our volcanic island and just off to the side of another volcanic island there. Little different spot right here, not on the plate boundary or in these volcanic ridges, but in the pit. Down in the little deep pit areas, you're 4.7 at the surface, so that's energy being relieved right there, even though it's not on a plate boundary. Up here, really quick, look at this in China now. Out in the lake region, they got 4.9. What do we do with 4.9s? 4.6. Another 4.6 at the surface, and this one might be a little bit deeper. No, 4.4, 13. It's still pretty shallow. So China waking up with some quake activity. You got all this SO2 coming out on this side over here. And then this is where there is no SO2 emissions, that one bald patch. And we're getting quake activity out of there. Here's the Gobi Desert with the intense sandstorm and an earthquake going on next to it. Surprisingly quiet in this region. You know, what I found out just in the last 24 hours while going through this wonderful process, like there's pressure building underneath Italy, and you would think they'd get an earthquake or a volcano, but it's always something unexpected with God. It's always the least expected. Where are they getting snow? It's still summertime. So that shows me, oh, he's always like throwing something different. So very quiet and quakes around this region, but it's snowing, flooding out this area. So it's always something different. It's weird. Now let's get back up into here again. 4.7 down at 64, volcanic island along this ridge line. Almost our fulcrum points right here, but this used to be connecting right here, and the snowplow came along and just shoved it out, right? So this would be a fulcrum point between here and here, with this being a plate boundary still. 4.6. Then just off your fulcrum point is a 4.9 at 38. So these two quakes in this region, again, relieving some of that pressure, the yellow that we saw increasing in that area. Also off Japan here, we've had a 5.7. All right, and there were some good quakes yesterday too. I didn't report on them though. 4.4 there, 4.4 in Japan. Up here we have another 4.4, so a little even magnitude in all three of those in that region. Okay, let's go ahead and wait, we finish off the rest of this. Here's where our quake swarm was before. We had a big quake and an old quake swarm there, and it relieved pressure, and the SO2 emissions in that area ceased. All right, and this is that spot, the same spot here, this 4.8 down at 87. So we'll probably see that place, stay pretty inactive as far as SO2. Whew, how do you say that sometimes? Thank you, Lord, for helping me. 4.9 here on the Cocos plate down at 47. This is not on the plate boundary, but we have this plateau, much like a table, really quick. And then this is a sheer cliff that drops way down to the ocean floor down in this canyon. All right, so this is a big, tall cliff face with a plateau. And if we get quakes right on the edge of it, it can break away. Well, I wanted to check to make sure this wasn't right on the corner. And it's a little further back, thankfully. But look, looks like something has happened here and broken stuff away before. And that's what I'm worried about, is a quake on the edge of the cliff like this, causing, a breakaway in an underwater landslide that would cause a hidden tsunami, an unknown one. An underwater landslide can trigger a tsunami that would you would think it's just a 5.0 or something, or, 5 like this, but an unknown underwater landslide would just be devastating. All right, now let's get into our all magnitude, please, Lord. Can we have that? Thank you. All right, so nothing up here by our fulcrum point. Little microquake activity going along our little island chain here. Not much going up into the fulcrum point. 2.8 magnitude. 2.1, nothing too big. Here we go. Bingo. Finally. Fulcrum point, 3 of them. Bing, bing, bing. 2.8 at 10. 2.9 at 10. 2.0 at 22. So relieving pressure in that region, all 3 of those quakes right there, just gave a little relief for that. We could see more of that. We need to see more of that. Relieve pressure out in that area. All right, as we get up into here, we've had some quake activity, not so much around Seattle, but it's a 2.6. I just want to see. All right, so quake activity at Rainier today. Quake activity at the peak of Rainier and Mount St. Helens. Okay. Take that off. Some of these other volcanoes just kind of going down the chain, looking. All right, good. So after our fulcrum point, we come into the San Andreas. Microquaking going on at the geysers, doing fairly decent right now. But look at this. We're starting to have activity in the South Bay here. Recent one was a 1.7 in Rock, California. And then we've had a little 3.4 at Alum Rock. 1.7 and a 1.5. So a little weak spot right here, kind of coming to life here. Have to watch that little area. Just north of it is this Alum Rock. But that's off in the mountains away from the city and everything. So some more at the very tip of the fault there. Coming down, here's a little flurry right on the plate boundary here. 2.7 at Parkfield, and then a couple of little ones and stuff after that. All right. What's this up here? 2.6 at Bishop, okay. Everything else looking kind of minor and quiet. All right, so our region right here, this bubble type shape from, let me get it just right here and get this out of there. All right, coming up the plate boundary, cutting across out to the ocean, this round bubble type structure right here even kind of goes a little further up into here too. But you can see how it rounds off and does this corner, comes out to a point. So all that area right there is where that pressure was building. All right, we saw the earthquakes in this area as well yesterday, and then we saw all the fires and the SO2 emissions today. So that's why we see the reduction in pressure, the reduction in color there. And it's like textbook example. All right, so that's kind of good news a little bit. It's relieved pressure in the area, and they're not going to get a big old giant quake. Just now in Texas, 2.1 magnitude. Oop. 3.4 in Saratoga, Wyoming here. A little bit going on around that area, around Yellowstone, but just little micro quaking. Again, quakes, small quakes at volcanic site is an indication of pressure down below. We also have a fulcrum point on the New Madrid here, 2.2, and then nothing going up the rest of the craton there. All right, so there's your quake activity. It's good to see a little bit of motion here on the Juan de Fuca, relieving pressure. It's also good to see this area in the Southern Cal region has been relieved. And yeah, that's about it. Let's get on with the get on. Take that and that. All right, let's get into 35 and 32. 35 erupting, 32 active. That's 67 active altogether, active volcanoes. If I told you there'd be 67 active volcanoes 7 years ago, you would have said, Brian, you're crazy. And here we are, and I am still crazy about you. Now let's get into it, shall we? Ibu, I-B-U. Yes, I need some ibuprofen. Look at this, 10,000 out of Ibu. We're usually at 8. So 10,000, a good indication of the increase in pressure down below with your taller blasts. Right there. Luatobi, another tall one, 10,000 out of Luatobi as well. Semeru, discrete emissions, 14,000 right there. Ducono, 8,000. White Island, still low-level eruptions. Santa Guido, sporadic ash emissions. Sangay had a 21,000-foot blast. Reventador, sporadic emissions. Sabancaya at 22,000 feet. And that was just within the last 22 minutes. Yeah, in the last 22 minutes, okay? So let's go into today, which is now yesterday, because, well, time flies at this channel. And there's the volcano map. Yeah. Ibico, tomato, 14,000. Suwanosejima, unknown. Again, Ibu, 8,000 earlier today. And now we just seen Ibu at 10,000. Increase in pressure. Increase in height. Luatobi, 10,000. Semeru, 14. Ducono, 8. White Island, still low level. Santa Guido, 15. Fuego. Sangay, 20. Reventador, 13. Sabankaya 22. All right. The lists of insanity. That is crazy. That's crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. All of this is just sheer madness. Do not look at these lists. They will desensitize you into thinking this is normal activity. I dare you to go up to somebody in a grocery store and say, hey, you know there's 67 active volcanoes right now? They go, no way. But here we are. Where's the media on this? Anybody? Not a peep out of anybody, huh? And this is just on land. 2/3 of the water, even more, is underwater. 2/3 of the land is underwater. So double that list and then add this list of 67 to it. You're well over 200 volcanoes currently erupting, or currently active, at least, if not erupting. So that's how that works. Now let's get into your crazy weather. So many factors going on with the weather. Let's just tell you that spiritual realm is having a blast with the weather. Let's go at it here, shall we? Current conditions, Friday the 13th, morning of the 14th, noon, convection, nighttime. We got geomagnetic storm enhancement to consider here. 14th, G2, 14th. We could see, starting right now, we could see enhancement to that. This. No, it's not pre-recorded. I'm doing it live right now. Nighttime of the 14th, morning of the 15th, noon, convection. Yep, you're right. This is pre-recorded, and I'm answering your questions in the future for the past. How's that? All right. You're fun, Joe. I like you. You're a good sport. Meanwhile, morning of the 16th, you see this rotation coming up to the coastline here. Watch out. As 16th, we need to G1, so you might see a little enhancement to this starting right there. So a little bit of enhancement there. Convection. Okay, that's when cloud tops are usually highest. Nighttime making landfall at nighttime with G1 storm enhancement. So I'm telling you, the 16th, everybody pay attention to this next round right there. And it goes into the morning of the 17th, noon, convection, nighttime. 17th? Sure, why not? Let's go into what might be coming on the 17th, shall we? Whoops, back. Look at this. A big old red label. Oh, for a 3.4 in California. Surprised they didn't have a tsunami alert on it, huh? Sorry, Lord. I'm losing my marbles. Let's get into this. So, let's see. The 14th. Well, come off the... Oh, no, the 17th would be, whatever came off the 13th, which would be, this big old thing that we just looked at. Oh, yeah. So you could possibly see some storm enhancement on the 17th. Do you see why I say that? If you don't, let me show you again. Because of that right there. All right. So 17th, we'll probably get a G1, G2 or something. Storm enhancement possible there. Okay. And that's the noontime. So morning of the 17th, enhancement, noon, convection enhancement, nighttime possible enhancement, morning of the 18th. Anything past this point is past the, data that we have from the sun to, add to this. So anything past this point is basically kind of unpredictable. And we're just going to march right through it. Morning of the 18th, noon, convection, nighttime, 19, noon, convection, nighttime, 20, noon, convection, nighttime, 21, noon, convection, nighttime, 22, noon, convection, nighttime, 23, noon, convection, nighttime, 24, noon, convection, what's that down there, nighttime, 25, noon, convection, nighttime, 26, noon, convection, nighttime, 27, noon, convection, nighttime, 28, convection, nighttime, 30, look at the snow, look, coming in up here. All right, that's way out there by the 29th, and all this is subject to change. Okay, I'm really concerned about is this next little bout right here, starting from right about here, the morning of the 16th, when we're going to have geomagnetic enhancement, possibly a G1, if not stronger. Hopefully, it's not. I pray it's not. It was in that last round, and I'm not a told you so guy, so I was wrong on that one. It was stronger than I expected. So watch out here, morning of the 16th, when this thing starts to boil up and organize here by noontime. And it's going to look like a serious event here by the convection. And it's going to make landfall, between, this is 5 p.m. Pacific. So that'll be 8 p.m. out here at nighttime. Sun's going down pretty early now, or going down earlier now. So it'll be dark right then. And then nighttime, morning of the 17th. People on the East Coast are going to be waking up to this thing just plowing up through there with geomagnetic storm enhancement. So that's the one I'm concerned about the most. Okay. Other than that, anything after that is we'll cover on the next show. All right, we're done. So I saw somebody asking for the picture of the what? Do you have a picture of a demon? Yes, I do. You want to see your demon? Okay, here we go. Because we're going to get into the spiritual report here, anyways. And part of the spiritual realm, it does have demons, okay? I don't like to really show them too much, talk to about all that much, because people go, oh, you're demonic or you're a Satan worshiper. So it's not that. It's more of you need to be aware of there are two realms, three realms, this one and two others. So we're going to introduce you a little bit to that side a little bit via this right here. Okay. Demons, principalities, and Satan. So for those of you with weak stomach, don't want to see this, we'll be back in a few minutes, all right, with something else. But for those of you who need to see, need to know, here we go. Let me turn up the volume.
These pictures and running them through the filter and stuff. And not only were we finding angels and Mary and stuff, but there's also demons, and I've also found Satan in this stuff too. So as we're looking here at this picture, what I'm talking about is in this mosaic of blotchy white dots that you see this picture is comprised of. When you zoom in really tight in on a picture, you'll see that it's made up of these splotchy little patches and dots. These new digital cameras make these little blotches. Well, hiding in these blotches are faces. And if you haven't seen it yet, there's an eye right here and an eye right here. And when you make eye contact with these two eyes right here, you'll see the mouth fall into place down here. It's snarling. If you look, it's got some kind of streaks or horns or something or wrinkles coming out of its head up here. And this is some kind of demon or principality. Other people refer to them as principalities, but this is what I'm talking about. And hopefully you can see this here. This is a pupil right here of an eye. This is a pupil of a bigger eye. Here's the whites of the eye, the white of this eye. These two eyes. Once you look at those, you'll see it falls into place. Maybe I'll pull back a little bit. You can see a little bit better. Zoom in. Right about there is good. And you can make out there's teeth here in this mouth. There's a corresponding mouth with these eyes, wrinkles going across the nose here. This is some kind of demon or principality. And it's tucked in the way in the corner of this picture, way back up in here. And you can't even see it as in a normal picture, but you zoom in, swing it over, zoom in, and you can see this face just appear. And there's more faces in this stuff too, but this one's really, really defined and pretty dominant in this picture. So I want to start off with that one. Hopefully you guys can see this one.
Okay, that's real.
Okay.
That is 100% real. Okay? It's in the etherical, it's in this mosaic of dots. This is the spiritual realm that you're seeing. Electromagnetic residue on our digital cameras that see better, that see more of the spectrum than our eye does. So go ahead and keep watching this for a second because there's more.
So in this sequence here, I've got my camera pointed at the couch now because I've been capturing activity around this couch. And one night I was just sitting on my couch there praying and wasn't really thinking of capturing anything. Here I was just sitting here praying before I started taking pictures or doing my thing, and it was already running. And lo and behold, there's some kind of demon up here. You'll see some green wings over here kind of flapping, and it lifts up my bike and spits a bolt of energy on it.
Fiery darts.
And I had no idea this happened until I went back through my pictures and stuff. And I put this series into motion in a flip book. And I realized, oh my goodness, look what happened. It picked up my bike and spit a bolt of energy on it. This one, you can't really see the face too well, but you can make out the wings kind of flapping. Maybe we'll pull it over this way a little more. There we go. And this thing turns, picks up my bike, lifts it up, and spits a bolt of energy on it.
Oh, there you were.
Okay, there's that. I'll let you look at that one for a second longer. Okay, in this series here, I'm sitting on the couch again praying, camera set up, and you'll see a purple streak, a bolt come in here, right there, boom. And it hurt. You can see my reaction to it. So we'll let it run again. Here I am sitting here praying. There's all kinds of stuff jumping around in the background, and then zap right there. And that was a real one. I could feel it. And now when I go back, we're going to go back to the top of that bolt and zoom in on the face. Okay, so here's the frame out of that sequence of me getting hit with that bolt. You can see the bolt coming down here. It's got a kind of a purple hue to it or whatever. And then we're going to start zooming in to the face up top here, and it's going to be Satan's face. So you guys ready to see this? If not, you might want to stop the video at this point. But I do not glorify this at all. I do not like to give him attention, but it's important to know that he's real, because he wants everybody to think that he's not real. I think you might be able to see this face without me pointing anything out yet. There we go. Okay, so let me zoom out so I can see it. If you look right here at this eye, this is his crazed eye. The other on the other side is bigger. It's the all-seeing eye. It's a little out of proportion, but then you can make out the side of his face, his jawline coming down, the bottom of his chin, his face going up here. Here's his mouth with some evil kind of grin on it. You can see his ear coming out over here. You can make out horns coming up. And this is in that mosaic of dots again, but these faces pop out and they're more prominent. You can see that this one really stands out. And that's Satan right there. You can even make out some wings coming up here.
When we zoom out, you'll see him a little better.
And he's mad. He's mad because I'm praying. And he's spitting bolts of energy at me and spitting on my bike and doing all sorts of crazy stuff.
He's attacking me because of who I am. That's why. Okay. All right. Then there's a little bit. This activity is now shifted to the clouds. Okay. So there's a couple more.
Howdy, folks. Welcome back. So these faces that I've been showing you in the last few videos that are in the etherical or in that mosaic that I was talking about are not only taking place there, but now they're taking shape in our clouds. And with this new filter, I was able to go through some of these pictures and it really makes them pop now. So if you can't see it yet, there's an eye here, an eye here, here's the nose, a mouth down below, here's an ear coming back up, the jaw running down, little pointed chin. And this face seems to almost be bisected. One half is like a goblin, and this other half looks like almost like a Wolverine or a Ewok type character. So I'll let you look at that for a minute. And this was pretty faint in the original picture, but now with the filter, it really makes it pop. So hopefully you guys can see that now a lot better. Okay. Okay, one more, and this one right here, you can make out we have an eye here and an eye right here. Here's the nose, and here's some lips, and it looks like he's blowing. You can make out his ear over here, horns and stuff coming up, his eyebrows. There we go.
Yeah, don't look up.
See a little bit better.
You'll see stuff like that in the clouds, and then you'll never be the same.
Okay, so I wanted to show you that one with the filter, so you can see it turned out pretty good too. So, well, that's it for now. I love you all. I hope you enjoyed this video.
Okay, that's all the spiritual realm. Okay, that's real activity that follows me everywhere I go. These faces, these UFOs, these angels, these demonic entities attack me everywhere I go, every day, constantly bombarded. That's why I'm exhausted. Here, let's do this one really quick because this is very significant. Okay, what you guys need, it's most important to understand is these dates. Okay, this is October 4th of 2017. This is 11 days after the Revelation 12 star alignment. The Revelation 12 star alignment. She was the virgin who was pregnant. The dragon stood in front of her, ready to devour the child. Well, the child was born on October 4th of 2017 in my garage.
We're still in the garage with our same display right here. And this was actually captured the day before the other picture, but I hadn't found it for years later until I was digging around through my, my old pictures.
Now, this part isn't demonic. This is the other side.
Further back to see if I'd missed anything, and I captured this one. And we're going to zoom into this streak right up here, this one right here. Just bear with me for a second here. Now, hopefully, you can see that we have a lady's profile here. Here's her eye, here's her forehead, her snub little nose, here's the bottom jaw, she's smiling, she's looking down and she's holding a baby, and here's the baby's head right here. Here's the face, the back of the head, here's her arm cupped around like this, and she's holding the baby. Now I'm going to run this through the filter real quick, and it's going to enhance it, but a little bit too much. See, now you can really make out her profile a lot better and see her face, and her headdress is coming over and going down back behind her. And you can still make out the baby's head right here.
There's faces over here looking at it too, looking at the baby.
A little bit, there we go. And this was captured on October 4th. So this was about 11 days after the Revelation 12 sign. All this stuff started happening to me just prior to the Revelation 12 sign and then right after it. So it said the woman was about to give birth. Well, it looks like maybe she gave birth, and here's the little baby being caught up to God.
By the way, the 7-year anniversary for this date is right around the corner, October 4th. And then guess what happened the day after this? This happened.
Howdy, folks.
This is
Welcome back.
October
So I've
5th.
been going through some of the old photos and running them through the filter, and this was one of the first ones that I had ever captured. And what's going on here is I'm here on my knees. I'm crying and screaming and praying, all three at once. I was in some extreme anguish. A paranormal traumatic event happened to me, something so unbelievable you guys wouldn't believe it. So if I told you, so I'm going to show you instead. So in this image here, I'm sitting here praying, and Mary's head appears right next to my head, and we're going to zoom in on this. You can't go in too tight on it, but she's looking down at my head this way. Let's see, there's pretty good. And you can make out her eye and her nose coming down, her shawl coming over, and it's in shadow right here. This is a shadow of the inside of her shawl going over her head like this. Here's her eye, her nose, her other eye would be on the other side there. Okay. You can't go in too tight on it. And then also is this white ball with an eye in it, this white orb with an eye in it. Okay, and that's not all, because over here in this corner up here is an angel, the silhouette of an angel with his wings spread, with his back to us, standing in a shaft of light. Here's his head. There's a glow over the head. The wings are extended, and there's a feather coming off. The last feather coming off is crossing over these brown roof tiles in the background here. And you can make out there's an angel right here. And you can even see his head right here. Going a little bit tighter. So there's the angel with his back to us and his wings spread.
And you see that feather.
Yeah, you can see a lot better with the filter. Before it was really faint and it was hard to see. Same with this. This came out a little bit better here. Yeah, there's Mary looking down at my head because I was in anguish. I mean, what happened to me?
No, what happened to me was what happened the night before when the baby was born. And I was reborn. You know, you get born again sometimes. Yeah, kind of born again sometimes. All this stuff happening to me because of who I am. Okay? It's important that you guys understand that this is real. I'm a just average dude, and this weird stuff starts happening to me, and I'm trying to, document it the best I can because nobody believing me. I'm going, hey, what happened? I'm trying to show you guys something true, and you're thinking it's crazy. So it seems too good to be true, I guess. That's the problem. Is it seems too good to be true. Yet here we are in this time frame when all this stuff is supposed to be happening. The rapture is happening. It's been happening for 6 years. These things have been in the clouds for forever. All right.
Now, this happened
not
in
forever,
cloud.
but here's the lion face.
Now we're here at this image right here. This is a flip book of about maybe 15 or 20 of those pictures, and it's the transition between Jesus's face and the lion face. Now, this happened in the clouds, and it was so big and in your face you couldn't see it.
Okay, these things are in a different dimension. They're so big and in your face in the clouds, you can't see it. It's once you take the pictures and then compress them down, zoom out, and make the picture smaller that it finally becomes clearer. All right, it's much like a picture in a newspaper. Remember old newspapers? It's a black and white picture, and it's made up of little black dots. But how tightly they compact them and spread them out actually forms the picture. And it's not until you step further back away that you see the picture. If you take a magnifying glass right up to that picture on a newspaper, all you're going to see is a bunch of little dots. It's not until you pull back that the picture becomes clearer. And that's why I show it kind of in this format, because it makes it a little clearer and easier to see. So this is not your Project Bluebeam. Why would they do something in a different realm, in a different dimension that you can't see? This is outside your scope of vision. Okay, I know what to look for. I can look up in the clouds and adjust my eyes and step back and see what's going on up there. Some of you guys are capturing stuff on your channels too, and you're seeing this activity in your clouds. All real stuff. It's all because of what happened to me, okay, and who I am. Let's get another one open here. We're gonna need this to read to tonight. So, where is it? Also, this giant face out by the moon that was captured. Okay, it's my face. I recognize my own face. I'm not here to say, "Hey, look at me, I'm this dude." No, this is different. This is more for your mental health. Okay. Because crazy stuff going on, and you're going to need a firm foundation in which to stand on. Okay, so we'll get started here. Is this where I want to start? Right there? Are you sure? Go there, huh? All right, hang on just a second. I got a certain way to read these because they have to be. Nope. It's not what I picked. Uh-oh. All right, I guess it goes right here. So, it's important that when we're going through this is a matter of trust. It really is. There is nothing you can trust in this world right now except Jesus, right? You're finding out. There's only one thing you can trust. And that's the important thing about this is the more you trust, the more you receive too. Okay. So it's important that you trust me to lead you step by step through each day. I provide sufficient light for only one day at a time. Okay. So this image again here. This is what my face looks like right now. I got the book light shining on my face. I'm reading out of my notes here. So I provide sufficient light for only one day at a time. Quit trying to shove it 2 days, 3 days, okay? If you try to look into the future, you will find yourself peering into darkness. My face shines upon you only in the present. This is where you find my unfailing love, unquenchable love. My love for you is even stronger than the bond between a mother and her baby. Though she may forget the baby is at her breast, I will not forget you. You are so precious to me that I have engraved you on the palms of my hands. Forgetting you is out of the question. I want you to really come to know, practically through experience, my love, which far surpasses mere knowledge. The Holy Spirit, who lives in your innermost being, will help you. Ask the Spirit to fill you completely with my fullness so that you may have the richest measure of the divine presence. Becoming a body wholly filled and flooded with me. Thus, you can experience my love in full measure. Yeah, that's what you're getting right here, right now, at this point of the show. You're getting my love in full measure. I want to get that other heart one up here. Come back here, you. See that guy pulling open his shirt and showing his heart here?
Folks, welcome back. So some silver here, and I'm gonna start zooming
Right.
in on.
Right there's good. Now we can see Jesus right here pulling open his shirt, making his face in the sky. See his heart. See, he's pulling open his shirt like Superman. He's exposing his heart, and this love is radiating out, making this face in the sky. Okay. I want you to know through experience my love, which far surpasses mere knowledge. I want you completely filled with my fullness so that you may have the richest measure of the divine presence, becoming a body wholly filled and flooded with me. Thus, you experience my love in full measure. You are experiencing my love in full measure right here, right now. Okay? And this should comfort you. This, not to rattle you. This is after the whole beginning part of the show is the disturbing part. This is a part that should comfort you. And I want you to comfort others with the comfort you have received from me. Do you get that? Do you understand me? It is of ultimate importance that you comfort others with the comfort you have received from me. No matter what circumstances you are enduring, my presence and comfort are sufficient for your needs. As a Christian, everything you endure has meaning and purpose. I repeat, everything you endure has meaning and purpose. Suffering can build your character and prepare you to help others who are struggling. You can relate. You've been there, you've have experience. Your suffering can build your character and prepare you to help others who are struggling. So, talk freely with me about the difficulties in your life and ask me to use them for my purposes. Of course, you can seek relief from hardship, but be careful not to overlook the blessings hidden in it. Okay? I know you don't like hardship, but don't overlook the blessings that are in there, because you're overcoming those hardships, making you stronger, building character. Okay? When you draw close to me during your tough times, seeking my help, you grow in maturity and wisdom. When you draw close to me during your tough times, seeking my help, in your tough times, that's when you grow in maturity and wisdom. You're not going to grow in maturity and wisdom any other way. It has to be this way. And this is what equips you to help others as they endure their adversity. Your empathy for hurting people will spill over into their lives. Okay, your empathy for the people that are hurting will spill into their lives. You will find that you're most effective at comforting those who are enduring trials you've already been through. You can grow in peacefulness through the discipline of hardship. And though it is painful at sometimes, later it yields the peaceful fruit of righteousness. You know you're righteous because you're enduring your pain maturely. You're growing from it. You're maturing. You're growing in peacefulness through the discipline of hardship. Most people sit there crying and complain and whine and bitch. No, not you. No, no, no. You're growing peaceful through the discipline of hardship. Crazy, isn't it? But you are. You are growing in peacefulness through the discipline of hardship. And you're doing awesome at it, you guys. You're doing well. And, when you don't feel like you're doing that well, don't worry. It's not your performance. It's that you're trying, that you are willing to try, the willingness to try. That's not the right one. Nope. Dang it. Okay, yeah, here we go. So, I love doing my thankfuls before the show. I look back at the whole day and all the blessings that were in there, even the hardships and stuff. It's those thankfuls. It's that thankfulness. Thankfulness is the best antidote to a sense of entitlement, the poisonous attitude that the world owes me. Okay? This attitude is the world owes me this. I have the right to that. This misconception is an epidemic, and it's an epidemic in the work of the world, and it's contrary to biblical teaching. One definition of entitlement is the feeling of or belief that you deserve to be given something. Okay? Thankfulness is the opposite. A grateful attitude for what you already have. Okay? I'll get out of here with this. So, a grateful attitude, what you already have. Check out what you guys already have. Pretty cool what you guys already have, huh? Even though your day is tough, look at what you already have. Okay? That's how this works. Be thankful what you already have. You're the richest people in the universe right now. Not everybody knows, and not everybody has a good relationship with me like you guys do. And thankfulness is the best antidote to this entitlement epidemic we have. We teach these entitled punks to be thankful for what they have. Well, then they wouldn't be so upset, now would they? A grateful attitude for what you already have. Now, if I gave you what you deserved, your ultimate destination would be hell. You would have no hope of salvation, right? You have everything you think you deserve, and there'd be no hope for anything else, right? So be thankful that I am rich in mercy. It is by grace that you have been saved. And thinking that you deserve more than you currently have will make you miserable, but a grateful attitude will fill you with joy. Try it. A grateful attitude will fill you with joy. And when you're grateful, it's hard to be anxious. When you're, by the way, you're having an anxiety attack or whatever, and you're getting anxious, look around your room. Oh, I'm grateful to have a chair, a roof, water, heat, a shower to take a shower. All the different things that are around you will take your mind away from that. So, thinking that you deserve more than you currently have will make you miserable, but a grateful attitude fills you with joy. So when you are thankful, you worship me acceptably with reverence and awe. So you're worshiping me when you are grateful for what you have. If you're miserable and you look at the guy who's got a Porsche, oh man, I need to have that. No, you're miserable. Be grateful for the little Toyota Camry that still gets you to work every day or whatever. You're grateful you're not riding a bike with 2 shattered hips. Okay? And it's when you get that perspective, you'll see I am full of grace and truth. And grace refers to the undeserved favor and love that I have for you. For you guys gave me a moment of your time. I couldn't get anybody's time. This was important stuff. One, grace refers to the undeserved favor and love that I have for you. Receiving something you don't deserve is humbling, and that's a good thing, protecting you from pride. Grace is a gift of boundless worth, for it secures your eternal salvation, not just temporary salvation. We're talking eternal salvation now, too. Grace is a gift. What you see here is a gift. I give all this stuff as a gift. That video was called Christmas Gift. Okay. Receiving this gift, even though you don't deserve it, is humbling, and that's what's protecting you from pride. Grace is a gift of boundless worth, for it secures your eternal salvation. You received the gift. Did it secure your eternal salvation? You see me in the clouds coming, right? That's securing your eternal salvation, right? Okay, good. You guys are following. Okay? Grace is a gift. It secures your eternal salvation. And because you know me as Savior, I will always be favorable toward you. You're what I call beloved. My love for you is undeserved, unearned, and unfailing. So you can't lose it. Just trust in my unfailing love and rejoice in my salvation. So when you guys are salvaging your day, you're rejoicing that you salvaged your day, right? You've salvaged your life now through salvation. You've been salvaged and we're restoring you. So you can just trust in my unfailing love and rejoice in my salvation. Have fun at salvaging your days. See how that works? That's joy in my salvation. Okay? I am not only full of truth, but I am the truth. People today are barraged by news and messages laced with spin and lies. As a result, cynicism abounds in the world, doesn't it? That's all we see is cynicism, cynicism, cynicism. It's almost like evil constantly on the mind. Cynicism abounds in the world. But in me and in the Bible, you find absolute, unchanging truth. In me and in the Bible, you find absolute, unchanging truth. Knowing me sets your feet on a rock and gives you a firm place to stand. I keep telling you, this is your rock, this is your foundation. Knowing me sets your feet on a rock and gives you a firm place to stand. This secure foundation for your life makes you a bright beacon in the dark. Let your light shine so that many will see and put their trust in me. I think that was it. Well, we could do part of that. No. That goes into a different, yeah, it's a whole different thing. Okay? Knowing me, building a relationship. I know all about you and all your struggles and trials and tribulations, but you're getting to know me. And knowing me sets your feet on a rock and gives you a firm place to stand. This secure foundation for your life makes you a bright beacon in the dark. You're just like this. You're just like this bright beacon in the dark, like this too. And you're supposed to shine into other people's lives. I want you to bring them the comfort that I bring you. Okay? That's one of the most important things. You're being trained on how to bring the comfort that I bring to you, how to bring that into other people's lives. Your tribulations that you're going through right now are your qualifiers. You're going to have experience when people are going through the same struggles you are. You're already doing your salvage work. You're getting good at it. You're seeing the peace. You're transcending your circumstances. And then you're going to show other people how it's done so they can find that in me as well. And you grow in peacefulness through the discipline of hardship. And though it is painful at the time, later it yields the peaceful fruit of righteousness. You're trying to help your brother via the right avenue. That's being righteous, isn't it? With a good heart and good intentions to try to help your brother and save your brother, sister, or anybody before it's too late. That is the peaceful fruit of righteousness. I want you to comfort others with the comfort you have received from me. My presence and comfort are sufficient. Everything you endure has meaning and purpose. Okay? Remember those principles. Remember those things in your daily life. Okay? At each day is a gift. Each day is a blessing, right? That's why it's important that you salvage them, because if you don't, well, then you're just going to be miserable and you'll carry into the next day and then the next day, and then you'll slide into the slippery pit of self-pity, and next thing you know, you'll have depression. And this world is depressing enough as it is. You guys need strength, courage, and hope. That's what I provide. Try it. You got nothing to lose and everything to gain. You are looking at my face in the clouds on Easter. This is me coming in the clouds with power and great glory. You are caught up like a good book or like a good song, a good movie, a good TikTok thread. You're caught up for 4 hours. You don't even know where you've been until you kind of snap out of it, right? It takes you away from your circumstances for a minute. You are caught up with me in the clouds. It's intriguing. It's fascinating. You're caught up. You're caught up with me in the clouds. I would love to come over and give you a big hug right now, but I can't. I'm immobilized, almost paralyzed here. So I have to meet my family in the air. That means I get to go live on YouTube. That would be the air of cyberspace. And that's where I meet my family, don't I? You would be my family. That would be people that follow me, like follow on TikTok, you follow on Facebook, you follow on YouTube. Well, you're here at my channel, following me on YouTube. You're caught up with me in the clouds. We met in the air. I showed you Mary and angels and demons. Just guess what? Guess what? You guys are secure. Put your trust in the right place, okay? And you will see through the lies and the deception of this world, okay? You already saw what happened just the other day. So, guess what? You can kind of anticipate where people are going. You see how the media is driving them to think this way and to think that way. Do not fall for that game. It's just a game of hate. Hate this person, hate that person, think this way, think that way. None of it matters. None of it matters. The only thing that matters is you and me. and you having victory. All right. Keep working the disciplines. It's what we do in the meantime while we wait. A few last people get on board here, okay? So in the meantime, working on salvaging your day and bringing that light into other people's lives, okay? I'm not sure if I'll do a show tomorrow night. We'll see how I'm feeling. But I will be back, right? Whether it's on YouTube or whether it doesn't matter. Nothing's going to stop me. I will be back. I am already back. And the 7-year anniversary was the other day. So hold on tight. I thought I'd be gone by now, to tell you the truth. I thought I was going to die. But here we go. We got some more time together. So I'm going to utilize as much of it as we can to get you as strong as we can. Okay. All right. I love you guys. I miss you guys. All right. And until my next show, I will be back. All right. I am already back. Trust me, and you will see.